Hi everybody. We are doing a test video here to see how the training would look in using an electric sharpener for sharpening our knife consistently throughout the week. All teams have access to an electric sharpener in the store. To assemble, bring the knives that you're going to be sharpening to the table. Recommend putting them on a clean cloth. Make sure that they're completely dry. Both the handle and the blades are dry. If they're wet on the blade, it will gum up the stones. If they're wet on the handle, you've got a risk of slipping out of your hand and causing an injury. You also want to bring the steel. If you are a meat or seafood team member, you will be using that instead of the honing mechanism on the sharpener, as that helps you with getting a fine edge that you're used to for the meat and seafood teams. For everybody else, you'll be using the honing edge on here as well, and I'll show you how to use that. Bring the sharpener to the station. Make sure it's flat. Make sure it's plugged in safely. Make sure you don't have any water or anything else around the area. Pull it back a couple of inches so that you can have it safe so it won't fall. It won't be bumping up against anything as you're doing this. And a cutting glove on the non-dominant hand. I'm right-handed, non-dominant hand to be able to catch and hold the sharpener in place, as well as catch any issues safely with the blade. Turn it on, simple switch up front, very quiet motion. Place it into the #1 slot. This is the grinder stone. Run it through, following the curve of the blade. You'll see as I come through and pull up that I curve to that blade. We'll do the same thing with a fillet knife, a meat knife, also the same kind of way. If it's a straight edge knife, you'll just go straight through. Place it into the cutter. And that's it. It has two sides. On each side, you'll do it. To make sure that the blade is nice and sharp. Okay? A couple passes, if it's really dull, a couple passes into #1 will be good. If it's pretty sharp and you're just keeping it sharp, maybe one pass through both sides will work. And then you go into the honing, just one time through on each side will work. And again on the other side. Simple as that. If it's very dull, you'll run through a couple of times on the first setting, and then finally on the honing or the steel if you're used to that. If it's just keeping it edge, just maybe one time through the grinding stone through #1, and maybe one time through the honing, and you'll be good to go. And don't forget, wear a cut glove on your non-dominant hand to prevent any lacerations and accidents happening.